What is going on, everyone? It's Amir Hussein and I'm back with another video. There is tons of excitement in the NFT space currently. There's tons of new people hopping into the NFT space, testing out the waters. And I know a lot of you guys who have been here for a while are very happy for the newfound volume that we are finally having on these blue chip projects. And today was actually the biggest day in terms of volume for Q4. We had $158 million in volume just today. Guys, you don't understand how wild that is. We didn't have any new projects come out that were anything special. It was all driven through FOMO and these blue chip projects. So guys, the market is flourishing. Everyone's pretty happy right now. Twitter's looking happy. Everyone got their free SOS airdrop. They got the free tokens, free money and everything. So the space is looking healthy, guys. And this is something very important going into 2022. We have that positive attitude. We have a bunch of happy people that are going to be buying into NFTs, and just the future overall of NFTs is massive. And so I wanted to figure out a way on how I can provide you guys the most value in this video, because the markets are flourishing and a lot of people are buying into projects and all that. So what I'm actually going to be doing is bringing on NFT Nate as a guest on this video today. The last time he was in a video, you guys loved it. We provided a bunch of solid value to you guys in that video. And so what we're going to be talking about is how to find the next big project, guys. The next big NFT project that could possibly be a blue chip or that can possibly have a very long-term bright future. And that's a very sensitive subject, so we get really deep into that. And so we also go on to speaking about the founder's intentions on projects. And that's a very big one. That's a very key, solid, crucial thing you guys should be looking at. So we really go deep into that too. And then also we're going to be talking about how to get onto whitelist, the best strategies you guys can use to get onto whitelist. And then I also have one secret thing on how to get onto whitelist that is probably going to change your entire view on getting onto whitelist. So definitely stay tuned for that, guys. And so what I'm going to be doing is leaving all of NFT Nate's socials down below. He's going to be joining us and he's going to be giving us some valuable info. So make sure to go check him out. And then also, guys, before we get started, make sure to go subscribe down below. It helps the channel out so much. We're almost at 15,000 subscribers, guys. So make sure to go do that. And then, leave a comment down below on what you guys would like to see next. Let me know if you guys like these types of videos. And then leave a like for the YouTube algorithm, guys. Thank you so much for all the recent support, guys. Now, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, guys. So look what I have back again. We have Nate. You guys really enjoyed having on Nate last time, so I decided to bring him on again. What we're going to be going over is how to find the next big project that will actually bring you good value and utility. Then we're also going to go over founder's intention, which, that gets really deep. So we'll get really into that. And then we'll go over effective ways to get whitelisted, so you're being as efficient as possible with your time. So Nate, what's going on, man?
Hey, Mia, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so Nate, I wanted to ask you, obviously we go over this a lot. We talk about it a lot on our channels, but what are some good ways, some like easy first couple steps on finding a solid project that has not released yet?
So where it comes down to it is it's a little bit of relationship building, and it's finding the people on the fringes of what you currently see. It's kind of stepping out of those boundaries. And from that, you get some really, really cool info. Where you're currently looking, if you're not finding those projects, stop looking, because if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. So do something different. Look for people that you don't normally follow and have a look and see what they're saying. Look on different websites, different sort of Twitter sort of circles, people that you aren't following and that you don't engage with. They're most likely engaging with a different aspect, which you'll then be able to find some great alpha. Because if you're looking at if everyone's looking at one particular thing and no one's looking at these, that's where the great alpha is going to be.
Yeah, guys. So just to continue on to what Nate said, there's just, to be honest, there's just so many ways you guys can find the next big project or the next project that will give you nice long-term gains, right? A lot of people misconceive like the whole concept when they're new in the NFT space, or, when they just want to make a quick gain in the NFT space. A lot of people ask, when's the next 100x project? When's the next Bored at Yacht Club? Guys, to be honest, that's not going to happen. If you guys really want to get into a project that can really give you substantial gains, it's most in your favor if you actually stay in that project for the long term and let the project build itself out to where it can actually be a true brand in the space. So when finding the next big project, you're going to be able to find it on Twitter. You're going to be able to find it in alpha groups. And also, another thing I really do recommend for you guys is to hop into voice channels onto alpha groups. When you guys are in the voice chat, the amount of alpha you guys will get from a voice chat is mind-blowing. The people who are actually in the voice chats and talking and continuously just spreading good information are the people who have actually been in the space for a while. A lot of the people who are not going to give you the good alpha are just going to try to show you a project just to get some invites or whatever. those are the people who don't really know too much about NFTs or just don't have enough time to actually immerse themselves in the space. So you really want to surround yourself around people who spend a lot of time in the space. Those people know how to tell which projects are going to generate massive value and utility down the line. So I definitely do recommend being in the voice channel, staying in an alpha group. Make sure you're on Twitter and stay active. So guys, honestly, just finding the next big project is a skill that's built over time. Obviously, the market conditions are constantly changing. Everything is, different the next week, after the next week. So the whole concept and the whole pattern of what project is going to do well changes a lot. So that's why you have to stay focused in the space. You have to catch on to the newest trends. Stay in the voice channels. It's a lot more effective too than just typing all day and having to burn your fingers out. It's a lot easier just to talk it out. And a lot of people who are in the space and actually taking their time to actually understand the space are in the voice channel. So again, we do that with Dark Echelon, and I know a lot of other great alpha groups do the same things.
So one thing that me and Amir have been having a talk about, and it's kind of coming to light now, we're not going to name any projects, is the founder's intention when it comes down to the project. Now, it sounds a little bit esoterical. It doesn't sound too grounded, but when you understand this concept, you can then break apart what actually makes these good projects that will give you those 100x gains. When it comes down to a founder intention, if you look at an NFT project that wants to become a $1 billion project should act like a $1 billion organization. When you have a look at the Steve Jobs, the Bill Gates, when you have a look at the Jeff Bezoses, they're working 16 hours a day, 18 hours a day. They're going hard. They don't stop. They're doing everything they can to make sure that their company is moving forward and going to be successful. And when it comes down to an NFT project, a founder needs to be the exact same. If the founder is putting in 2 hours a day and just treating it as a side hustle, then guess what? That project is just going to be a side hustle, and they're just going to extract value from your pockets, put it in their pockets, go have a trip to Bali, and then have a great time tweeting about how rich they are. What you need to do is you need to be looking through what the founders are kind of sort of not only just saying, but what are their actions doing? Are they in the voice channels all the time? Are they in the text? Are they on Twitter engaging with people and not just kind of broadcasting, but are they actually engaging in a meaningful way? And this is very hard to quantify, but over time, you can start to see the patterns in these founders and what they're actually doing. And what happens is that if a founder is actually intending on making this a $1 billion brand and they're working 16 hours a day, it doesn't matter if the project is terrible when it comes down to the art or utility. If they're working 16 hours a day and the other founder that has great utility, great art is only working 2 hours a day, every day, this project is getting 8 times better than this project. And over time, it'll take over. It doesn't matter how terrible you are. If you go to the gym every single day, you're going to get fitter, you're going to get stronger. And a great founder that has good intentions on building it to be the biggest brand possible, the biggest NFT possible, then that founder will work out, he will be going hard at it, and he will make it work. The best NFTs, people see something like Bored Ape and go, how does it get to a 50 ETH floor? Well, it's just time in the gym. It's working hard. It's building on that brand and building it up. A new person coming into the space may see something and go, how did it get there? I remember when Doodles dropped, and Doodles is just absolutely running hard at the moment. It's successful. Doodles didn't hit 5 ETH overnight. It had this solid run. There are sort of run-ups and pullbacks, but the idea is that a project that actually puts in a lot of effort and has a great community, it's just a solid trajectory. As long as the trend is up, then you're going to follow that trend. And that trend can only be followed up if the founders are putting in more work and more effort than you can imagine.
Yeah, guys. So to add on to what Nate said, opening or starting up an NFT project is pretty much the same thing as starting up your own startup company or starting up a brand new business. This takes a lot of work. And basically what an NFT project enables you to do, which, other business ventures or like Web2 doesn't allow you to do, is raise money in a very fast manner, which this is a whole new concept to us. And a lot of people are trying to grasp this and take it for the wrong way, which, it's obviously we see this over and over with what we call the rug pulls. We have the soft rugs, where people open up a project and then they slowly stop talking to the people in the community, and then they just disappear completely. So there's many different ways that people have taken advantage of the community, have extracted money from the community, And we want to avoid that. So we're going over founder intention, guys. I know this is maybe not the most exciting thing to talk about. I know it's not, the 100x gains type of talk, but this is the most important type of talk that you guys need to understand to keep yourself safe. Because if you do want to make big gains, you're going to have to protect your money to go make those gains. And this type of talk right here is how you're going to be able to protect your money so you can actually go make some gains. So founder intention is so important. And we see a lot of projects, founders, when their project drops and they, sell out a lot of pieces, or they sell out, they'll go and tweet out, oh, I'm going to go buy a bunch of NFTs now. What should I buy? Guys, all the money that these NFT projects have raised, I think, in my opinion, and I think the rest of the community will agree, this should be going back into the NFT project. Yes, I understand the founder should take a little money for himself, but at the end of the day, to be able to keep the business running, to be able to keep this NFT project going for the long term, which you will make more money as a founder if you make the project a long-term project. This is something that you need to do to be able to make the project successful. The more money that you make from your project, let's say from the secondary sales, the more money you can put back into the project. And then eventually you'll become the guy that made $500,000, $50 million. It's limitless, guys. So, and looking long-term for a project is going to benefit the founder. It's going to benefit the community, and it'll benefit how the project is perceived by everyone overall. So this is probably one of the most important things when getting into a project, understanding the founder's intention. And Nate, I want you to go over a few red flags that, project founders have, or that we've been seeing recently, to where they could possibly be running away with people's money.
So I guess one of them is the hopping from project to project, because someone doesn't create a business and then as soon as that business is launched, launch another business the next week. If a founder has created a project and it's been successful, and they're moving on to another project and then talking about other projects and really kind of hopping around, then if you're reading between the lines, they're trying to raise as much capital from these drops and extract it as fast as possible by doing project after project. If they really cared about the project that they're creating and the one that you're looking to invest in, they would be focusing on that until they've ticked all of the boxes, they've completed the roadmap, and there is no sort of additional runway, and they can then hand that over the same way that a CEO will kind of build up a company and then hand it over when they go public to someone that can handle running a public company. The NFT project going from sort of that startup phase to maturity, it can be handed over at that point, and then the founder can then move on to something else. But a founder that wants to just jump from project to project doesn't look good from my eyes. If someone is going to be jumping from project to project, it will be, in my mind, a quick flip project, but not a long-term project, because if they've done it before, they're most likely going to do it again. Another red flag that I'm starting to kind of catch on with is a broadcast of messaging and not a two-way interaction of messaging. Now, what this means is that it means creating content for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, putting it out there, but not necessarily engaging with the people that are engaging with it. If you look at someone like Gary Vee, if you jump in and comment on his tweets and his stuff, he will like them, he will reply to them, not all of them because he can't get to them, he's only one man, but he will do that. What's VeeFriends done? What is Gary Vee as a brand doing? Absolutely insane. If a founder is putting a lot of effort in broadcasting their message and their ideal, but they're not actually responding to the people that kind of are even saying, hey, great project, hey, love it, hey, that looks cool, then it shows that their mentality is, I need to create awareness to have people buy off me. They're just trying to get attention off you, and they're not trying to build a meaningful relationship. Now, I don't want to single out this particular project, and this is a good example. A founder of a project, and this project is going to sell out, it's going to make a lot of money. This founder actually reached out to me, and we chatted on Twitter DMs for a little bit. And the fact is, this guy does not need to do this. He is well off. It doesn't matter what happens with the project now. He's done. He's made an absolute giant bag, but he is running and he's grinding. He's putting in the effort, that hand-to-hand combat. He's not just trying to broadcast his message, but he's actually trying to build up and engage the community. And it's a very subtle, hard thing to look at, because you can't just look at a bunch of tweets and go, yes. So those are two red flags that I kind of see. There are some other smaller ones, but that's what I'm kind of coming towards in this sort of this exact moment in the NFT space, because the current trend is build up as much hype, as much promo as you can to make the project sell out. And the flow and effect from that is put everything out and then let people come to you, when it should be put it out and then engage and meet them.
Yeah, guys. So, reading red flags is a thing in the space that a lot of people want to do, a lot of people try to do, but they can't actually identify it. And there's this thing that we call FUD in this space, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And if you don't completely understand what that means, it just means that when there's a certain problem, or like when there's something fishy going on, people identify it and they actually broadcast it to other people, which, spreads fear to everyone else. And that's pretty much what it is. So with FUD in projects, there's a lot of different things on why it happens, and there's a lot of red flags that founders do, which are very easy to indicate. And a few of them, in my opinion, is when a founder talks about the floor price, or when the founder promises some type of floor price or some type of floor sweep or anything like that. And I say that because when you're talking about guaranteeing people some type of investment value or investment return, that's a huge red flag. Now, imagine someone comes up to you that's trying to sell you something and says, "Oh, I guarantee you it's going to 2x." Like, that's the same thing as a used car salesman. He's just trying to sell you something so then when you buy it, you basically are just sitting on a bag that's worthless, and then you can't really sell it, which is the case most of the time. So a lot of people from the e-com space, a lot of people from certain regions of the world like Dubai, we're seeing these types of things happen over and over with, like, let's say e-com people that maybe just actually are not even successful in e-com, but maybe just sell their course and that's how they're successful in that certain topic. So this happens a lot, guys, and I really want everyone to be very careful. Again, I just named guaranteeing floor price, guaranteeing some type of value, or also, being from the e-com space, which again, that's not for everyone. But one thing that is for everyone is guaranteeing floor price, guys. That's a huge red flag. And there's a lot of things going on with like the Instagram space and Instagram projects that we see a constant trend of these two things happening. So, guys, be very careful. These are two things that are easily identifiable, which, people have been getting destroyed over and over. Don't get caught up in that. Usually you end up being someone else's liquidity exit, which again is a very sad story for a lot of people, because a lot of people that get into these projects are less educated and have less capital, which eventually leaves them either broke in the NFT space or leaving them struggling in their own financial situation. And guys, another red flag you can easily identify is when you go in a project's Discord, you'll see a certain vibe or a certain feeling that feels in the way of like, "Oh, let's go to the moon," or everyone's chanting like, "Let's go to the moon," and things like this. One thing I really advise you guys to do is go in a project that's been very successful. Go in their Discord, look at their Twitter comments, and look at what everyone's saying and compare that to a new project that's coming up that has the moon talk, or that has the talk of, "We're going to the moon, we're going to 10x the floor price, we're going to 100x guarantee floor sweep with whales coming in floor price." Guys, be very careful with these types of things. We say these things about the red flags because we want to make sure you guys are being careful and not getting into the wrong projects. Me and Nate constantly have people asking us, "Hey, is this a good project to invest our money into? Hey, is this a good project?" Most of the time, we're scared to answer these types of things because we don't have the time to really like look into the project and see if it has the red flags and everything. But guys, here right now is your complete answer. Is this a good project to invest into? Guys, look into these types of things. Again, it's not guaranteed every single time. We're not financial advisors. We are just two people who are experienced in the space, and we just have our strong opinion on things because of our experience. So now we want to go over some good ways that you guys can get whitelisted for projects that are actually solid. We went over some things that you guys can use to find good projects, to find projects that will actually be something for the long term in the future earlier in the video. So now we want to talk about ways you guys can get whitelisted for these solid projects or for projects that are pretty hyped up. So I'm going to start off with saying that there is definitely a lot of great ways you guys can get whitelisted. And one thing I do not recommend you guys doing, because it's not time efficient, is don't be typing in the chat all day long. Guys, it's a hefty time investment, and time is money for us. I don't know about you guys, but when you guys are typing in the chat all day, you're pretty much like doing the same thing as everyone else. And when you're doing the same thing as everyone else, you're probably going to get the same result, which is not getting whitelisted. So a lot of the times in projects, I've been in the project space. I've been on the business side of NFTs. I'm not just an NFT degen. So I know exactly what projects are looking for. And one thing I can definitely say is, if you are going to be wasting your time in the chat, typing all day, one thing I can say is try to stand out as much as possible. And that could be either typing long paragraphs, doing something very helpful for the people in the chat, things like that. Now, getting into the other side of how to get whitelisted, you can be creative, use your head, and be a content creator for that project. So in terms of creating a cool informational video for the project, like we're creating YouTube videos for projects, Also, you can create a little skit. You can create a TikTok for a project. You can create a comedy skit. You can create maybe some music for that project where you're talking about them. So there's many different ways on the content creator side, and then even going to where you can create art for that project that's, you know, unique and it stands out. And there's many different tricks and tips behind all that. And guys, just the easiest thing overall for getting the whitelist for these projects is do something that will bring value to the project. Do something that to where a project founder would look at this content that you've created and they will go, wow, this person deserves a whitelist. They are really trying to help out my community. They're really giving back to the community, and they're really trying to make this community stand out beyond the rest. So guys, that's the easiest in simple terms. I gave you guys a few things, but in my opinion, from what I've done, those are the easiest things. So guys, one more thing that's really key and solid to get whitelist. This is a really good trick that you guys can use it to your advantage on however you want. Crypto Gorilla gave me this idea, and he's friends with me and Nate, so he's a really cool guy. You guys should check him out. One of the things you guys can use is go in the voice chat for NFT projects. A lot of the times founders don't have time to type all day in projects. Mods can get annoyed all day of typing in the chat, trying to respond to people's questions. So what they do is they hop in the voice chat. So one thing you guys can do is hop in the voice chat, talk with the founders, and do this continuously. You'll probably eventually get whitelisted. Now, one thing, what to not do is do not ask for the whitelist. Just be helpful in the chat. Be helpful with other people. And one other thing is don't change your profile picture and don't change your name in the server, because they're going to lose track of who you are. So make sure you keep the same identity or whatever you want to call it. Keep the same branding of your name. And then on top of that, just be active in there. Whenever there's a voice chat, hop in the voice chat. I'm sure mods will be in there. I'm sure a project founder will be in there. You know, project founders love to hop in the voice chat because, again, I said it's probably annoying all day typing in the voice chat. So hop up in there, guys. This is something that you guys can definitely use to your advantage, and let me know how it goes. But besides that, guys, I want to hear Nate's side and Nate's point of view on some ways to get whitelisted.
So yeah, like piggybacking off the idea of the sort of the fan art or the kind of contributing to the community in a meaningful way, I like to backwards engineer it. And it comes back to the founder intentions aspect. If you're creating value for the project, if the founder is looking at people that they want in the project, people that aren't going to be making quick flips, people that are going to be helpful in contributing in a meaningful way, the easiest way to kind of show that is by putting in some effort when it comes down to sort of fan art, engaging in the voice chat, things like that. Now, if it's very easy to get onto a whitelist, then maybe everyone else is finding it easy to get onto the whitelist. If the founder wants people to actually put in some effort and build a sense of community because they want to build that billion-dollar brand, they're going to want you to put in that effort. So the idea that if you try once to get on the whitelist by making a meme, you don't get on there, and you're a little bit sort of upset about that, and you want to dip out of the project, that's what the founder wants. They don't want people that try to get onto the whitelist super easy, type in when whitelist, make a meme, and expect to get on it. They want people to contribute to the society, to their community. So if you backwards engineer what the founder actually wants, and what a founder wants is a sense of community, a project that's going to be turning into this big quality brand, you then need to approach it with that same mentality. How does a brand like Nike involve their community? They get them to shoot their own ads, make their own content, put that stuff up online to contribute to that sense of community for Nike. Nike doesn't care about someone making a meme. They care about this quality, wholesome content that can then contribute to their ecosystem. It's the exact same thing with an NFT. We need to start changing the dynamic around what an NFT is and looks like, and change it from sort of a bunch of JPEGs into treating it like an organization and a founder like a CEO, and getting onto that whitelist. How can you contribute to them in a way that makes them smile, makes them laugh, and makes them go, this is the person that I want representing my brand? Because when it comes down to it, in its most simple essence, if you change your profile picture to their NFT project and you're going around on Twitter saying obscene things, they don't want their brand being represented by you in that space in that way. So if you can come at it with a very fun, friendly, wholesome aspect that is giving value, that's showing off the aspects that they want when it comes down to their brand and their NFT, that's what's going to get you onto the whitelist. Now, it might happen after sort of the second or third piece of fan art. You might do it for a month. But the idea that contributing to the project in that wholesome way and backwards engineering and treating them not as a lottery ticket, but treating them as an artist or as a human, that's what's going to get there, because it's very easy to see people come into a server like Amir's or a server like mine that could then come in there and say things. You can hear it in their voice. They just want to know what project's going to go off, what the price is going to be, and when they should sell. If they come in friendlier and then they ask those questions, we'll give them the answer. But if you come in going, when whitelist, how much is it going to be? Will I make a profit? You're never going to get onto the whitelist because your intentions have been displayed and that doesn't align with the project. Think about what the project wants and align with that. Join into the conversation when it comes down to what that project wants, and that's how you get the whitelist. And a super simple example of this is that in my Discord chat, there was a guy that created some fan art, got into the hate list. Another guy was saying, how do I get into the hate list? Because I want to make some big gains and big flips. And this guy that's on the hate list, he goes, that's why you're not going to get onto the hate list, because you're treating Hate Beast as a way to get free money. And that's how they can read through that. And that's how they're not going to let you onto that list, because you're going to treat it like a lottery ticket and you're not going to treat it like a brand that and a community that you want to be a part of.
Yeah, guys. So as you can see here, we have lots of ways listed for you guys and the reasons behind them on how to get whitelisted. We talked about ways you guys can find solid projects and get in early to those projects. And we also talked a lot about founder intention, and we went deep into all these subjects. So definitely, if there's anything else you guys would like to see that's related to these topics, or if you guys just want to see anything else in general with me and Nate, I know you guys like these collaborative videos. Leave us a comment down below. Tell us what you would like to see. And guys, do not forget to go subscribe to Nate's YouTube channel. He does very similar content to mine. He talks about projects. He talks about the post-release, the pre-release. He talks about everything about projects. And then he goes deeper into like the whole NFT space. So guys, make sure to go subscribe to Nate. His links are down below. Go follow his Twitter and all that stuff. Nate, thank you so much for hopping on once again. We're probably going to have another video anytime soon. So nice to have you on, man.
Thanks, Amir.
So guys, thank you for sticking along throughout the entire video. I know this was a little bit of a longer video, but again, these videos provide you guys the value to actually go out in the NFT space and execute. And then also this type of content keeps you guys safe when going out in the space. And when you guys are going to go buy a project, this keeps you guys aware of what to look for. And then the whitelisting, guys, that's a very important thing. So I hope this video was informative and helpful to all you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure to go subscribe to me and Nate down below. We would love to bring more of these types of videos to you guys, so let me know how you like it in the comments down below. I will see you guys in the next one.